essentially holding off any would-be evildoers up north. And he's also been doing a tiny bit of research into these doomsayers that you guys kind of run into, because it was actually he who took the amulet.
It was shiny.
Yeah. Looking back on the recordings and stuff, it was Pierce that took the amulet, actually. That being said, you guys proceeded to set sail to the east after having a god race between Jacobs and Rock, which caused a tidal wave. Thankfully, no mortals were hurt or at least killed, as far as you know, in the process. But yeah.
Flash just destroyed Superman.
Heading east on the sea, it was mostly just your typical ocean travels into nowhere, except for a brief period where you guys were traversing plains while traveling. And for a brief second, you guys actually passed into the far realms, which is when Jacobs had a ghostly dream of the past, of his other universe life, where he saw a friend of his from his childhood. And then when he came to, he still saw it. And you guys attempted to intercept the person while Jacobs was just kind of standing out in the water talking to this girl on a boat that you guys couldn't see. I mean, you're all a bit crazy, but
sanity is relative.
Yeah. You guys continued on and tracked down this girl on this boat. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, you guys had visions of this haunting church on a small island, which is where your pursuit actually led you guys to, which is at the center of a hurricane that essentially encompassed this entire island. You guys are within eyesight of the island, but not within approaching distance. And that's where we left off, with you guys talking to, or after defeating the couple creatures that ambushed you in the waters. You guys ended talk. I can't remember. Actually, I should have recapped myself for the last couple things, because I actually forgot how we ended exactly.
I think. Well, we beat the critters.
Yep.
And then we were gonna try and get the lady that Jacobs was talking to. I don't know where she went though. I can't remember.
I remember actually. Yep, her ship got destroyed.
Okay.
You guys saw her be engulfed into the water. Give me 2 seconds. I'm actually going to check something here. I'm going to check the recording because I frickin' should have done this already, but who needs to be prepared? It's not like I'm running a game session. So you guys can chit-chat while Pierce just kind of teleports onto the boat with you guys.
Casual, like.
Why are we in the ocean? Why are you?
Because we are on a boat.
I feel like if this is Jacob's boat, I don't believe that. But
For now.
Yeah, I guess. What's with the island? Spending Death's World over there.
Oh, likely some kind of horrible emanation of unholy plane of existence that may be the far realm. It's my current hypothesis, or at least a shrine to some unspeakable entity from that location.
And Rock was strongly against going here.
Indeed. It was only with your tempering of our impulses that we went about it in a slightly more logical manner.
I don't remember what that was.
Well, we were just going to follow the girl instead, but then we ended up getting here, and I believe our current objective is that we're trying to find her, and we are not going to go inside of that temple. Maybe just look at it a little bit. But
All right. Sorry about that. Did a little recap just to remind myself, because I thought I remembered it correctly, but I couldn't be sure. So yeah, basically what happened is it ended with you guys seeing off the creatures because of the, the dancing. Of the
yes, I made one dance
Yep.
and become rainbow colored.
Yep. An underwater depth of the sea monster kind of thing.
Sounds horrifying.
Yep,
They ran.
channel the Feywild.
Just once they were seen off, you guys saw Aresis and her boat just kind of sitting in the water. And what I forgot to mention before, and now is you saw her just sitting on her boat, kind of ghostly and ethereal like she is. But everyone except for Jacobs could see that the hunter, the big ass sea monster, was towering over her ship. Almost like he was like ready to strike or potentially watch. But then he just kind of faded from existence as she waved to Jacobs, because Jacobs waved to her. So that is where we left off, is that exact moment where she waves, okay. The hunter fades, and actually, so realistically, Pierce, you would teleport onto the boat, you would see this big-ass sea monster, and then it just fades away.
Huh.
So let me get a picture of that for you, because you were obviously not here for that.
It's pretty big.
Yeah, he's a...
Maybe.
That doesn't look like the amulet.
So, kind of what he looks like, to kind of re-describe what he looks like, he's like a big, generally humanoid monster, but he has two kind of smallish arms that are just two massive scythes. And you can't see the under part of him, but just looking at him, he's most likely, octopusy, because that's probably how he travels.
Is he undead?
Could
I tell if he's undead?
He is not.
Okay.
He's most likely he's an abomination from the far realms. So, not quite undead, but
I don't understand why I always come hang out with you guys.
Hey, you seem like a bad group to hang out with. In all honesty,
need other friends, mortal friends. Don't get into trouble all the time.
I was mortal once, and I was just as much trouble then.
If not more.
I was a pig farmer. It's a long story. Bacon tastes delicious. It may have played a part in stuff. Betrayal.
That was your first death, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, do you guys have any questions before we...
Can we see
what's that?
Aresis?
Aresis, yep.
Can we see her right now?
Yes. So to you guys, she looks similar to like an apparition, where she's just kind of ghostly looking, same with her boat.
Okay.
But she is in this realm. She's just kind of like inherently ethereal.
Right.
Which is how you guys tracked her last time.
Yep. Okay.
Two things to note with the given situation is the hurricane that is surrounding this entire area, because you guys are in like the eye of the hurricane. It does seem to be getting a little more violent. Like there's an actual like thunderstorm kind of forming now in the center of this, so it's definitely magical. Just Kenna would know straightforward. Like, it's obviously not a real hurricane. Clearly magical. If anything, you guys might even be on a demi-plane. That's just this. But there seems to be like an electrical storm that's kind of beginning to slowly appear. As you guys were fighting, occasionally you'd hear like a thunder crack, but no lightning, and now you're seeing actual lightning and more thunder cracks continuously.
It's getting a little bit more
Yeah, the sea,
spicy.
if you remember, the sea was very calm.
Right.
It was like perfectly calm. It's starting to get a little bit turbulent, not to the point to where like it would ever affect you guys on the ship or even realistically Reese's small boat. It's more of like you wouldn't want to be in the water swimming right now. Well, Rock and Jacobs might, but
I mean,
Kenna wouldn't.
yeah, I would never want to be in the water.
Vampires know like water.
Half the party is absolutely not. Half the party would love it.
50-50.
Well, speaking of thunderstorms and rock, I don't know. I don't think he actually has the power to do this, but Rock would want to know if he has the power to try and subdue the storm in any way. Being, god of storms.
Yep. You could definitely. You can sense the power. Actually, realistically, that's a good point. I actually kind of forgot you were God of Storms here for a second. You would actually feel the buildup before anyone even sees it. You would see that there's something like there's an external force putting pressure on the storm.
Okay.
That is currently more in tune with it than you are. A normal thunderstorm, you could definitely attempt to calm it over a period of time, but this one, no. There's definitely a driving force causing it to get more wicked.
Okay. Now Rock is actually angry because somebody's screwing with his domain.
Hey, get out of there.
No, this is my business. Get the fuck out of my business. So now he's on board 100% with checking all this out.
Well, I think first things first, we should get your friend there, Jacobs, aboard and maybe have a bit of conversation. One that we can all understand both sides of. And then see where we go from there. I don't know if it would be wise to approach this temple now that we have what we came for, since we know so little about it.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Mike to get back because of Jacob's interaction. Yeah, okay, if you're back.
I don't know quite a few things. It's just, the amount of things in the world is infinite, and any fraction of infinity is inconsequentially small. This kind of thing, well, you say that as though I have not encountered such things before. Of course, it intrigues me. I will know, given time.
No, I don't have to know, but I will know.
I certainly intend to investigate this at a later date. But if we have no immediate need to go there, I think wise that we avoid it for the time.
While you guys are discussing this, are you sailing towards Reese's?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure I had a general idea. As you guys approach her small vessel, she stands up on the boat instead of she was sitting down, kind of pretending to kick the water with her feet. even though she's ethereal, so she can't actually affect it. She kind of stands up and like brushes herself off, like someone that hasn't seen people in a while, so she's trying to like make sure she looks presentable. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, like, so like she's essentially like an island girl, so like her general demeanor is, there's water everywhere, so she's generally very clean, and her clothes are made mostly out of like, you know, large leaves and stuff from palm trees and whatnot. So nothing about her is like grungy by any means. Um, as you guys actually get close enough to actually kind of see her entire ship and everything, you would definitely notice that her ship is, from the looks of it, probably undrivable. It looks like it's damaged beyond repair. Like there's cracks all across the hull and stuff. And from your point of view, they look more real than the rest of her ship. So while her ship is very transparent, the cracks and stuff are not. So it's almost like the cracks are in your world, not hers per se. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Like if like looking from her point of view, you now actually now that you're closer, you actually see that it kind of like leans off to one side, like as if it's on the verge of capsizing, but not going to capsize. Um, so yeah, I mean, do you want to say anything first before? Because you guys could yell from a distance if you wanted to, or are you just gonna wait till you get up to her? Yes, my vessel has been rendered useless. You should know. You've sailed on it several times. So she walks basically through the air up to your ship, kind of almost as if she's just stepping on like clouds for steps, basically. Or she just kind of steps up to the front of your ship where you guys are probably standing at this point. And as she like steps onto her board, like her feet give a good hearty thud on the dread pool, and like she looks down like almost surprised at that.
Ship projects into the ethereal plane as well as this one.
Where did you acquire such a vessel, Jacobs? Oh crap! What did she call you? What was her nickname for you? Crap. Hold on. I think we wrote it down. Ah, dang it. I think.
Marley is your first name, right? Marmar?
Yeah, I think it was something like that. That sounds right. It was really derpy.
Never not call you Marmar.
Yeah. Like she just outed you for eternal make fun ofing. um.
Every time, boom, hurricane. Yeah, well, you just earned yourself a tsunami.
Oh, I noticed that guy with the big sword is swinging at you. Oh, wouldn't it be a shame if he crit you? Oh, you thought you dodged that fireball? Um,
I make a note in my book.
um, like she just knew that you like joined their crew. Like As you say that, like her face just sours at the Blood Queen's name. You work with her. Jacobs, do you know that she's the one that actually killed me? Yes, I remember the moments that she rose her pistol to my face, begging for her to let me go before she pulled the trigger. Last thought I had was how I was happy to see you that day. But that was a long time ago, apparently. Several
You
universes
can
ago.
actually count the amount of time that has passed.
What's that?
Oh, a previous cycle of existence.
Yeah.
Does time translate between?
Don't know. Something no one has ever tried to do. Yes. Which I do want to point out that, like, from this distance, you can see she actually has a scar on her forehead.
Technically, not this.
How long have you been living in this world? You
12
guys are,
years?
yeah, about
14
12 years, yep. 12 to, I can't remember exactly, 12 to 14 at this point?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Interesting.
Normally.
My memory resets daily, I've discovered.
Interesting.
I relive the same day pretty much over and over. This is the first time that it has changed. What do you mean? I'm unsure of what you speak of.
You were running from something.
Oh, that must be later in the day then. I'm at the beginning of my day, actually. I have not seen you earlier. This is the first time I've seen you in quite some time.
Curious. Not unheard of. I mean,
Oh, I have no idea. As I said, my memory sets daily. I've just. Oh,
it's not uncommon for a spectral, a lost spirit to relive some part of their life over and over again. Although I think that this is probably a unique case, considering this appears to be a specter that did not originate from this cycle of the universe. Look over at Pierce. Is she actually undead?
Yes, yes, it seems so. She is.
Or doesn't give us many answers, unfortunately. But
Awesome. I keep doing that.
I wonder.
This whole time my audio wasn't recording, so you'll be using yours then, Blaine.
She actually, I have a painting of her.
You do.
Yeah. I don't. It's in my castle.
How and why?
Yes.
The painting is of her ghostly form, though, and it was there when I took the castle. It's not. I just left it there because I thought it was a nice painting.
Hmm.
But it's this exact thing.
Yeah, so to shed a little light on for Pierce to know as well, it is of this exact scene, actually, of her in this hurricane type weather with a temple in the background in the distance. The island is kind of obscured by mist, but the temple kind of stands out as a bright green light shines from the chapel tower. Which, coincidentally, that is the same color as the lightning in this area, actually, as it now begins to strike a little bit harder and closer.
And do you remember anything, or does anything stir when you look at that temple or the wreckage down there and point at the boat?
Not particularly, no. I remember just looking at it as I walked through the halls and just thought it was a curious painting. I never looked further into it. There's a lot of curious things around these days.
Including.
Would this
Wonder.
be one of those time bubble things that Zaladin set up?
I can assure you, Kenna would know no.
Yeah, this is before the start of the universe, right? This one, at least. So,
yeah,
like I said, time is tricky, and
Yeah, I was just saying because I know he exists like outside of time, kind of,
yes, but
and has been known to fuck with people.
that is a very good connection to make. I say I'm like the like elementary school teacher, like.
Ouch. Harsh.
Can everyone give me a perception check at a -5?
9.
Well, yeah.
Actually, no negatives, just disadvantage, actually, is a better way to do it. I forgot. 5th edition.
Ah,
Okay. Rock has a 17.
Sorry, I can't hear you because Matt over here is rolling dice insanely loud.
Rock has a 17.
17?
I
And
had
what can you get?
I had over 20 until you disadvantaged me. Now I have a nat 1.
Oh, no.
I mean, you could counter that yourself if you wanted to.
I don't care enough. It's perception.
Okay.
I got an 11. So.
Okay. Wow. So, Rock sees. This is a first, I think. I'm gonna write this down. So, while you guys are speaking, Rock is just staring up at the sky, apparently, pissed off at the clouds. Actually, this actually makes sense, really.
Yeah.
Angrily staring at the clouds. The clouds actually form a face.
And then a
That's
middle
like-
finger.
That's like watching Aresis. And like it turns into like a scowl moments before it just kind of disappears. It turns back into clouds.
Shoot. I was gonna try and tap Kenneth's shoulder and say look up, but don't be obvious, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean this happened in like a brief moment. Like you would definitely like you barely caught the fact that it was a face, and then like by the time you realized it, it was like angrily scowling, and then it disappeared.
Cool. Okay, so
Like
I'll.
the lightning was actually like, drawn from like the center of its eyes, so like its eyes were like glowing green lightning before it shattered outwards.
Okay, so I walk up to Kenna and I
Put it in the water.
like whisper in her ear and try and relay as much of that as I can, but it probably comes out kind of nonsensical because rock.
Antenna.
Like rock talking to Kenna just comes out as nonsensical. So try to describe it the best I can. You know, the clouds made a face and they glared at the dead girl and then shot lightning from their eyes and then the face was gone. And no, I'm not seeing things.
It's not my fault you idiots didn't see it.
Just kind of like frown a little bit and nod.
So,
Maybe we should take this conversation someplace else. Though I'm curious to. I wonder if this repeat of, or this reset of memories or experiences is a amnesia sort of thing or a time loop sort of thing, as you said, Rock.
And said Kenna would be able to rule out enough things that it's most likely a time loop.
Okay.
It not like 100% certainty, but like near 100% certainty.
So is the fact that the boat destroyed mean anything? Or is that supposed to be the beginning of the time loop?
Or maybe it's wearing out. Maybe this world is damaging it.
From your perspective, just based on the things you've seen in your travels, it would seem almost like that is the anomaly, probably breaking the chain right now.
So we might have a chance of breaking the loop if we just, like, cut and run.
So do you think we'll be pursued by that hunter thing then?
It's very possible.
And what do you
Seem
think?
to be following her.
So what do you think the eye in the sky is?
What eye in the sky?
The face. Or did I not hear you tell her that?
I was whispering it to her.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Then yeah.
Also remember, you guys were called, sort of, too, from different voices.
By a creepy voice.
Yep.
I think Jacob's was like a nice voice, but
Yep,
mine was creepy.
Yep, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Also, I mean, whoever called us here might be controlling the hunter.
Maybe. Whatever called us here.
Whatever, whoever. I mean, we are what, but we're still who.
Well, we can do this one of two ways. We can try and escape notice, or we can confront the creature and see if we can find out information that way.
Usually, finding out information from a creature is we have to beat it into submission first.
All for that plan.
All right.
Once we get its attention,
I mean, that
like
would be...
you said, Rock, there's a face in the sky up there.
What? I look up.
There was briefly, according to Rock.
Yeah, lightning eyes, spooky stuff. Rock's background as a previous life was a superstitious barbarian, so gives him the willies.
Well, I look around then. Like, now I'm kind of neck craned up for a while.
Looking up, trying to spot a face in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
While this conversation is happening, I want to open my book and summon a couple of my starlings to set me on fire.
What? No, I don't.
But I'm injured.
Oh, how injured?
Fairly injured.
Oh,
About 60%.
dear. Oh, sorry we weren't doing our job then.
It was more the flurry of tentacles.
Ah.
Unavoidable.
Besides just the short amount of talking you guys have done, are you going to wait in this area for a little while before doing anything, or are you guys going to set sail to try and escape, or what was the plan?
Do we want to just cut and run and be pursued and then beat up the monster, or try and conversate first?
When it comes to, say we run and that hunter thing pursues us,
Yep.
there's not a whole lot I can do to fight it from the ship.
I can
I could
launch
get
you out
you
of a
one.
cannon.
It's honestly probably at least one catapult on the ship, too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure you're not the only person that likes getting launched out of things onto ships.
Mm-mm.
There are many ways that we could transport you onto the creature.
That's never ended poorly before.
Never. Never, not once.
Good thing Rock can hold his breath for a while.
Like infinity.
I thought we weren't affected by elements.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, we don't have to breathe.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be underwater, just like
I
thinking
mean,
you're drowning.
a while in infinity is a while.
Yeah.
It's not untrue.
You'd get bored and just want to die. Like, I'm just down here. That's all.
So are you guys going to try and cut and run then?
What do you think, everyone? This ship can outrun anything. That's the whole point.
Alright. I'm down.
Okay.
I say run. I didn't want to be
Alright.
here in the first place.
Let's leave then.
All right.
Keep an eye on that storm. We're going.
What was the name of all my crew? Different kinds of Smith or Smitty or
Oh my god. Depends on the day.
yeah. Yeah, depends on the day.
Whatever Jacobs decides to call them at the moment, that is their name.
Scallywags.
Yep. I gotta start writing down a few ones. Just like, all right, this guy goes by this name, or this name. Everyone else is this name.
I've named my minions.
Well,
Well, yours.
But they've named themselves. Probably.
yeah.
You don't have to pay for yours.
My minions actually are sentient though. I don't know.
I was gonna say, what it probably actually is you got sick of them correcting you for like 2,000 years, and then you finally decided to call them their real names. That's probably what happened.
Rock should name his now.
What's that?
Rock feels left out. He hasn't named his.
Well, don't worry, because mine get their names changed daily. I technically haven't named mine either.
Are you guys going to do anything in an attempt to tether her small vessel to your ship, or are you just going to leave it in the sea?
Oh, we should probably take it with us.
How small is it? Can I just load it up?
Yeah, like it could literally just be loaded onto your ship.
Let's
Just
do
throw
that.
it onto the deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
All
you
right.
definitely have a working crane system on this ship.
Yeah, it's called Rock.
Yeah, that too.
Get that ship.
Yeah. I jump in, hook a
Well, I mean,
fucking...
the problem is it's ethereal, so Rock can't do shit to that ship.
Aw.
Rock falls through that ship.
All right, fine. So how does my...
Rock goes to jump on the ship and just splashes into the water, really annoyed.
Just sinks like a rock.
Yep, like a big rock, spelled with two Ks. How does how does one get an ethereal ship onto a ship?
I mean, like I said, your ship has a working crane. That's how you load cargo, like big cargo.
Yeah, and
So
since I
you-
interact with the ethereal, it
Yep,
can-
because your ship's ethereal, so
all right.
your ship's both.
Okay.
If that wasn't the case, then we would not be able to
Yep.
carry it.
Yeah. So, and actually, I want to see who would. Trying to think if any of you'd be paying enough attention to the ship. Maybe Kenna. The cracks in the ship, her ship, are much more severe than they looked like from the surface. So the surface, they just look like cracks. Below, there's like chunks of the ship literally missing. And looking into the water, you see shards just kind of spreading out into the sea.
Hmm.
Like it'd be near impossible to collect all the shards.
Yeah, it's pretty wrecked.
Yeah, there's just debris kind of everywhere in the ocean. And with the storm getting kind of turbulent here, the sea, you lose sight of the pieces pretty quickly. But you definitely notice.
What is Aresis doing? Like, as we set about.
She has a very passive demeanor. She just kind of, almost like you would expect of like a ghost that's just kind of watching.
Like, yeah, she doesn't really interact unless prompted to.
Pretty much, yeah. Like she attempts to more than likely she'll just keep up small chatter while you guys are there, but nothing aside from you directly asking her something and then her responding. Does she never like initiates conversation.
And does she seem to like mind my like scientific just like examination of her?
No, she's quite actually fascinated by it. She's someone that grew up without any form of education, so seeing somebody so well brought up is fascinating to her as well. If anything, she's probably studying you in her own weird way too.
Yeah. Curious.
You're taking notes and she's like looking underneath your arm and stuff while you're like holding your arm up. Like, what are you? Are you a robot? She is very pleased that you decided to bring the ship along, though. Like, she was gonna protest if you guys said to leave it back, but your initiative seems to please her greatly. One thing to note, though, is that you would actually notice that she is tethered to that ship in some form, because at one point when the ship gets kind of like swung out a little ways, you see her get kind of nudged towards the ship. As though there is a limited distance she could like travel from it. Which is a pretty common thing for ghosts.
Yeah.
So that's something both Kenna and Jacobs would know, or Kenna and Pierce would know for sure.
Does she have pointy teeth?
No.
Not one of your.
Not one of mine.
So you guys are gonna try and take off then? That's the
Yep.
plan? Okay.
Run.
I guess
What's up?
set a course back in the direction that we're meant to be going, east.
Okay. Sounds good. Jacobs, why don't you just give me we'll do a dexterity check for a form of piloting in the upcoming.
As we're leaving, I'm gonna keep both eyes on the storm with like the lightning and stuff where Brock said the face was.
For a second, I thought you were going to say one eye in the sky, one eye in the water. Just
No.
two different directions.
28 dex.
Perfect.
Okay,
So,
and
so Pierce is watching the girl, Kenna's watching the sky, Jacob's piloting, and what's Rock doing?
even though I know there's another influence stronger than me manipulating the storm, I'm gonna do everything I can to make the storm as tame as possible. I know
Okay.
I probably don't have enough influence to.
No, I mean, actually, in all honesty, it's probably because of you that it hasn't, like, hit you yet. Like, there's probably, like, lightning has come very close to hitting the ship, yet it has not.
Yeah, so that would be what Rock is focusing on, is trying to manipulate the storm to grant safe passage.
Perfect. Can you give me just a wisdom check?
Probably not a good one, but yes,
I mean,
can.
it doesn't need to be good. I just need to get
15.
a gauge of how much.
15.
Perfect. Yeah, you are quite focused on it. It takes a little more of your concentration than you probably realize, but you're definitely doing something.
Yay, helping.
Meanwhile, Kenna, why don't you give me a perception check at disadvantage?
Alright. Yep.
Pierce, same thing from you, actually.
It's gonna be a 10.
Nice. Solid numbers today, guys.
I mean, my perception isn't very high, so
Nice.
to be expected.
All right, Pierce got a 9, so you guys are going strong for the spellcasters. There's a moment where you definitely saw, like, it could definitely be like the clouds look like a face scenario.
Did I?
But
Because I was looking in the I was looking in the sky.
Yep. I'll get to you in a second.
Okay.
Kenna, like you know how like you look up, you're like, oh hey, that cloud looks like a thing.
Right.
You get like one of those moments. You're not sure if it's actually the clouds making a real face or if it's just you hoping to see one. Pierce, you notice that there's a moment where you swear, but you're not sure because of a 9, that for a brief moment, Aresis became real. Like for a flicker of a second, you saw flesh, not ghostly color. Again, Pierce is a crazy person, so he may chalk that up to insanity.
Did I feel like, oh, not undead anymore? And then
Yes, that's probably what more tipped it off. It's
More
just
of
your
it.
natural. Yeah. Here's like, hey,
Okay.
Jacobs.
Hello.
You're piloting, so you're not allowed to stare at the sky.
Okay.
But I would definitely say Jacobs is more than happy to like turn around and look, even though he's supposed to be doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because Jacobs.
It's wide open seas. I don't care.
It's not wide open seas.
It's wide
something-
open seas.
You're driving through a hurricane.
That's wide
No.
open.
Sure. But you also give me a perception check at disadvantage.
Okay. Ah. Well, at least it wasn't a nat 1. I get to add my bonus.
Hey.
17. No, 18.
Okay. You hit something with the ship.
Oh.
You have no idea what.
How the hell do you hit something with an ethereal ship, I say?
That is the perfect example, because no one else noticed it, but you know your ship well enough that you feel the thud.
Oh, perfect.
Where, like, you know, your ship is kind of rocking up and down on some, like, waves, just because that's how ships work.
Yep.
Well, your ship doesn't actually work that way.
I know.
What's starting to draw your attention
Yep.
is that your ship is being
Jostled.
moved with the waves, which is unnatural for your ship.
Yeah, that's why I yell that out. What the hell? How you hit something with an ethereal ship?
And then you feel like a thud,
Ghostfish.
Must be.
which I don't think you've ever felt before with your ship.
Probably not.
So,
Ooh.
and then all those that speak Sylvan hear, we've hit something.
And like so it creaks, and I'm
right.
like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I know. I don't. I don't actually speak. I just know it's talking to me.
Yeah.
Rock is paying too much attention to the clouds, like trying to storm. Pay attention.
You mean you've hit something?
Does anyone want to go try and take a look? Because Jacobs is still at the helm, so he can't go around the ship to look.
I can send Solus to go look.
Okay. What size is he? He might not be able to handle the wind.
He's tiny.